Good day, culinary arts students. Welcome back. I hope you had a good weekend. I am jumping right into lecture here. We've got a brief lecture, and one thing that I wanted to just make note of, right? We are right now 67% of the way through the semester. We're coming in for a landing. Term 5 ends today. So I will, just as I did an update in Skyward the middle of last week, I'll do another update in Skyward today because the Term 5 grades pull at 11:59 p.m. tonight. And so I will go ahead and take anything that you submit today up to the end of the class day at 2:25 p.m. I'll go ahead and input the Skyward scores, and that's what will go out. If you do anything after 2:25, it won't count towards your grade in Term 5. Okay. Um, Other than that, we're jumping in. We're sort of taking a quick break from sort of the moist and dry heat and combination heat cooking methods and vegetable cookery and grain cookery, which we're sort of bookending the sort of here at the end of the semester with. And we're going to do a salad lab this week, a little bit lighter. You'll be making your own Caesar salad, dressing, croutons. It's great, it's light, but it's an important part of learning just again, life skills about how to prepare a balanced salad and also how to learn about vinaigrettes and creamy based dressings. So we'll be getting into that this week. Um, if you have interest in being a TA next year, I've already got a couple TAs already signed up. I probably have room for one, maybe two more. So if you're interested in being a TA, let me know. Come and talk to me sooner rather than later, and we'll work it out with your counselor. You need to have a C grade or above in this semester's class in order to qualify. So if you have a D or F, obviously that'll disqualify you from that opportunity. But if you have a C grade or above, I'd love to have a conversation, but you need to initiate it. Come talk to me. Let me know you're interested, and then we'll figure out what period would work best for you. And you get a half credit of elective requirements for doing that. So if you're short on elective requirements, this is a great way to get it. And you're just in here helping me. It's been a little bit of a tougher semester because I haven't had my TA. We adjusted her schedule to accommodate some graduation requirements. And as a result, puts me in a little bit of a bind doing mise en place all the time. And so it's good to have a couple TAs each semester just to help support. There's a lot of moving parts in this class with purchasing and prep and everything. So if you're interested in being a TA, come and talk to me. I can expound on what that requirement entails. What I'd like you to do now, draw your attention to your whiteboards, and the learning target this week is I and we will learn and apply salad and dressing preparation skills. Okay, so our focus this week, again, I and we will learn and apply salad and dressing preparation skills. So that's what we're going to be doing. There's some supporting documents. There's some supporting documents in Google Classroom to support my lecture. We got some songs we'll be playing this week, okay? I know that Team 2, they really like the songs, okay? And then basically all the lecture content is available right here. In the lab portion of the week, obviously, Caesar salad with croutons is what we're preparing, and you have 2 Ruby assignments, okay? You'll have time today. You should be able to complete one, if not both of them. They're not very long. And so the Ruby is salad dressings and vinaigrette basics, and then salad greens, selecting and preparing, okay? So 2 different Ruby lessons. Again, you add the scores, not the percents, together and put them in the yellow box. So just remain calm, okay? All is well, okay? Get it? All right. So trying to bring the humor here. So salads and dressings, quick overview, okay? You want to maintain a balance between the salad greens and the dressing. So consideration of the type of greens, like if you're doing a bitter green, like a frisee, or you're doing a mosh, which is higher in, or watercress, it's higher in water content, maybe even like watercress that's a little bit on the spicy end, gentlemen. Okay. So the type of greens are indicative of the design of the salad. So in this case, we have a salad dressing. All right, if we think about the recipe for a traditional Caesar salad, it's got garlic, it's got olive oil, which is sort of fruity, can be spicy if it's good quality olive oil. You've got anchovies possibly in it. I'll give you the option of putting anchovies in the dressing this week. And then you've got Parmesan cheese, sort of salty, Dijon mustard, Worcestershire sauce, all very robust flavored ingredients. Okay. So when you think about that, you want to complement it with a grain that maybe is a little bit more robust in water content. So that's why romaine is such a good balancing green to use with the intensity of a salad dressing, much like Caesar dressing. Okay, so balancing this salad dressing with the greens is important from a design perspective. Okay, different flavors. Obviously, looking at flavors that are seasonal in nature are often tied into what we're doing for salad design and dressing preparation. A lot of the time during the summer months, I will use I will go ahead and use dressings and different items that are based with fruit juices. And I'll take say in the fall, I'll take a peach juice, I'll reduce it down and maybe do a peach ginger vinaigrette. I'll puree the fresh ginger right into the peach juice after I've reduced it on the stove. Some olive oil, maybe a little bit of harissa, some spice to add to it. And so I often will use fruit juices as a base for different types of dressings during the summer and fall months. Okay, you always want to make sure you taste the salad, and it's important not just to taste the dressing. You want to taste the salad with the greens because you get the full effect and balance of the water content, the spice, the heat, everything that you're factoring into the design of the greens. You want to taste the salad with those greens, not just tasting the dressing by itself. Another thing that's important is to make sure you clean and dry your salad greens. Drying them is important because we don't want the excess water to dilute the dressing, right? And we want the dressing to adhere to the salad. So you want those greens to be dry. And I'm going to show you a technique how we just use some paper towels and we roll them. And then you'll store them in a Ziploc overnight after you prep them. And the next day you'll come in and you'll unroll them and you'll cut those up and they'll be nice and dry and ready to be dressed. Okay, you can use a salad spinner as well. That's a good alternative after you've cut the greens up. Texture is important. Thinking about salads, thinking about, for example, having the croutons, getting some crunch in there, using legumes, different types of protein in salad. I often, during the late summer and fall, will use just raw corn, and I'll just cut that right off the cob. I'll take some of that corn milk and just scrape it off the cob with the back of my knife, add that to the corn. I'll just toss that in the salad. And the raw corn, when it's good and in season and being harvested fresh, is really sweet and it makes a really nice contribution to a salad. So looking at ingredients again that are in season and also that are adding different types of texture to the salad. And then in terms of dressing, a couple of basic rules. We'll use sort of the basic formula for a cream-based dressing, a creamy dressing, by using mayonnaise this week. We're not going to make the mayonnaise. If your team is interested in making the mayonnaise, I am more than willing to work with you on that, and we can prepare the mayonnaise from scratch. But if you don't want to do that, I'll have mayonnaise on hand. And then the basic rule of thumb for a vinaigrette, so you got creamy-based dressings and then vinaigrette-based. A vinaigrette, 3 parts oil to 1 part vinegar. It's sort of the rough rule of thumb. Now, if you have olive oil and balsamic vinegar is a little bit sweeter than, say, red wine vinegar. So you might have to add even a little bit of other type of vinegar in there with balsamic to give it that edge and acidity that you're looking for. But 3 to 1 is a basic rule, okay, that'll come up down the road when you're making vinaigrettes, okay? So 1 part acid to 3 parts oil. A lot of different types of salad greens that are out there, like radicchio, very strong in bitterness. You've got some greens here that are very high in water content. Some of them have some heat and spice to them. Okay, this is an example of a system. Actually, my bonus daughter, my stepdaughter, used to manage social media for this company called Lettuce Grow. And this is a good example of how to grow your own greens year round. We operate it just part of the year. This year, I'm hoping to lift it off for I think the sun's coming out right this week, okay, and maybe it's staying, okay, that's my hope. And actually, I need to order sort of the seedlings to get things going. But here's a quick example of what it looks
First, I should tell you I'm not a gardener, I am not a farmer, and I don't have a green thumb. Let's rewind a few weeks ago when I first started growing my own food. Lettuce Grow is a company that wants to help people grow more of their own food at home. I was so excited when they sent me the farm stand. It's this hydroponic growing device made with recycled ocean plastic. The whole thing is self-watering and self-fertilizing, so you basically have nothing to do.
This is a tube that recycles water from the device and onto the roots of the plants.
It uses 95% less water than if I was trying to grow plants in the ground, which I would probably fail at anyway. They grow these super delicious seedlings at nearby farms. Did you know that 52 pesticides have been found on lettuce and 3 are carcinogens? I know for sure that these plants are pesticide-free because I grew them myself.
Lettuce, kale, cilantro, Swiss chard, basil, cucumber, tomato, even watermelon.
I've spent maybe 5 to 10 minutes a week refilling that water tank, adding the nutrients, doing a quick pH check.
You know, here in the Northwest, I don't refill it much of the summer. I mean, we just don't get hot enough. If you're in California or other areas that are warmer, you'll fill it more often.
Test on the water. I've watched it grow from that big to that big. It tastes so good. So basically, the agriculture business uses up a ton of energy, space, and water.
And after all that, 50% of produce gets wasted.
You guys, I think there is a better way. This idea is part of a vision that's called distributed farming. Think of it as one big farm spread out over backyards, balconies, patios, just like this. Remember how half of all of our food gets wasted on its way from farm to table? I can say with certainty that I'm going to eat 100% of these plants.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow!
I really swear it tastes better than what I normally buy at the supermarket, probably because a lot of the stuff at the supermarket has been sitting there for like 10 days already. So it's made it so easy to just literally have these incredibly healthy plants that are growing in my own backyard. Share this video if you think it's time to change how we grow our food.
Yeah, so if you ended up like going to live in a small apartment with some friends, you don't have any real estate, basically any yard, this is a great solution just to park on the balcony of your apartment and have a solution to source greens even year round. Okay, some good examples of vinaigrettes, okay, different types of aromatics. So you basically have the oil, which often can have a flavor, like you could use hazelnut oil. I could reduce apple cider down and do a hazelnut apple cider vinaigrette. And then I might add some Dijon mustard, maybe some juniper berry or something like that complements those flavor profiles. So using herbs and spices as aromatics, different types of acids, different types of flavorings and oils are very common. And then when you look at creamy-based dressings, you're going to find avocado-based oil dressings. You'll find that even at Costco now. You know, you can on a regular basis buy and access avocado, different types of seed oils that are infused into mayonnaise, extra virgin olive oil or whatever that are out there, not just vegetable or canola or different types of seed oils that are less quality or even not as good for us, that maybe even some would say cause inflammation in our bodies. And so getting into those more natural oils is an important part of the process. So quick video here. How to make a vinaigrette. It's very simple.
Learning to make a vinaigrette is a rite of passage for cooks, but it's not hard. If you can remember 1, 2, 3, you can make an awesome salad dressing. 3 ingredients and 3 different methods. First, whisk it. Pour 1 part vinegar into a bowl. Add 2 things, salt and pepper. Break out your whisk. Then add 3 parts oil, slowly. 1, 2, 3. You're done. The second method, shake it. Add your ingredients to a jar that has a good lid. Give it a good shake. This method's great for making extra to keep on hand in the fridge for a couple weeks. It will separate, just shake before using. The third method is to emulsify or blend. Get your vinegar, some mustard, and seasoning into a bowl. Slowly whisk in the oil. If added too fast, it will break. The mustard helps the liquids form an emulsion.
The mustard serves as a stabilizer when you're making dressings.
Whatever method you choose, don't forget to taste and season as needed. Now that you're a pro, mix it up. Try different acids like citrus, or use cider, white wine, rice wine, or sherry vinegars. Or you can use different oils. Add herbs or spices. Just remember, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3 to make your own salad dressing, and the possibilities are endless. Use them for marinades, on grilled meats and seafoods, and of course, salads.
Yeah, really, you'll find that more often than not, we use vinaigrette. You're doing marinades, dry rubs. Vinaigrettes are really common in the everyday kitchen. And then here's a little bit of base information to wrap up here about creamy dressings here.
We're Adam and Joanne from InspiredTaste.net, and welcome to our kitchen.
Hi guys, today we're making our no-fail mayonnaise.
So we call it no fail for 3 reasons. Number 1, we use a food processor, which allows us to keep the blade going really, really fast as we slowly stream in our oil.
And you don't need to whisk it manually.
No, which takes forever, and you need some serious arm strength.
Number 2 is we use 1 full egg with the yolk.
Yeah, so we use the white and the yolk. A lot of other mayonnaise recipes will just call for a yolk. In our recipe, we're cool with using the whites, and it actually helps bring it together. And
A lot of the time you want to also factor in using just a pasteurized egg instead of just out of the shell. So a little bit less safe because you stand the chance of contracting salmonella as part of that transaction. So you want to stay safe. So using a pasteurized egg would always be what I'd recommend.
get thick and creamy anyway.
And number 3 is we use Dijon mustard.
Yeah, so the mustard also helps everything emulsify or become really thick and creamy, and the way mayonnaise should be.
Let's go make it.
If you have a large food processor, like us, we recommend using the smaller bowl attachment that came with it, so the bowl is not too large for the amount of mayonnaise the recipe makes. Add 1 whole egg, mustard, vinegar, we use white wine vinegar, and some salt. Process everything until well blended.
Now for the oil. The trick to making mayonnaise is to slowly stream in the oil while the egg and mustard are being whisked, or in our case, processed. Start by adding little drops of oil. When a quarter of the oil has been added, you can be less strict with how slowly you add it. Continue to add the remaining oil in a very thin stream until it is all gone, and the mayo looks shiny and thick. Taste the mayonnaise for seasoning. We love adding a little pop of acid from fresh lemon and usually add an extra pinch of salt.
And that's it. How to make homemade mayonnaise that's way better than anything you can buy at the store. Time to make a fresh tomato sandwich. How will you use your homemade mayonnaise?
So again, if your team is interested in making the mayonnaise from scratch, glad to do that with you. I'm not going to require that as part of the competency, but it is an option. So with that being said, what I want to do is release us to go ahead and work on Ruby for the week. And just a reminder, right here, you got 2 lessons that we're doing this week. Again, I'll put them up on the screen. You got salad dressings and vinaigrette basics, and then salad greens, selecting and preparing. All right, so 2 lessons. Add the scores together, put them in the yellow box, and you will be good to go. You have time today to meet this requirement for the week, so I just suggest that you go ahead and get it completed while you have time here in class, okay? I'll have a timer on the screen. Thanks so much, everybody.